What we know to be true about First Christian Church is that the community is coming to us. All you have to do is look out the windows at our Champaign location, and you can see the world around us. Even in our Urbana location, we're already squarely placed right in the middle of our community. The challenge for us as we think about this 2020 mission is who we want to be. Jesus pulled his disciples aside and began to show them the world around them. The truth was, he said they look helpless, they look hungry, they look harassed, and Jesus challenged them to go into the world, to be the kind of people that would bring peace to their neighbors. For each of us, we think about that in just some different ways, helpless and harassed, like a sheep without a shepherd. What's that look like for us? And we see people that are hurried, people who are stressed, people who are filled with anxiety. We see people who maybe find themselves lonely or depressed. But the reality is that every single one of us have a purpose in this world, that God has given us a mission. And so as a church, we begin to wrestle with what that mission could be for us. It's well beyond the buildings that we have or the weekends that we share in for worship. It is actually a calling for each and every one of us to step into a world and bring Jesus to them. One of the things I love the most about Jesus is that Jesus showed emotion. One of the passages about Jesus that not only talks about the way he saw the world around him was the way he saw the city. Jesus literally is entering into Jerusalem. It's right before he's betrayed and crucified. And as he enters into Jerusalem, it's what we call the triumphant entry. It's the moment where they celebrate him as king. Now, many of them thought of Jesus as being a political leader. But for Jesus, what he realized was that he was to be the savior of the world. And he wept. He cried over the city of Jerusalem. And it is that compassion, the way Jesus sees the crowds and the way Jesus sees the city, that we should each be moved as we look at the world around us and wonder how God might move us towards his mission in his community, in his world as the church. As a church, we should not only be concerned about people who come from the street to the seat, meaning who we get gathering with us, but our mission should drive us to send people from the seat out back to the street. We should be sending people on the mission of Jesus. And so as we begin to think about 2020, we wrestle with where is God taking our locations, both in Champaign and Urbana. How are we going to take our people and mobilize them to reach more for his glory and his honor? But how will we also steward those people and our resources for God's glory and God's honor? First Christian Church has always had a heart for college students. Because of that, we've always partnered with Axiom Christian Campus Fellowship. But this year, we realized that we need to prioritize their ministry to a greater level with us. Coming to Campus Town, you'll see people from every tribe, tongue, and nation, and we think that this is a great opportunity for us to not only reach domestic students, but to expand our ministry and have a global influence by reaching international students. In 2020, we're going to prioritize the opportunity to partner with Axiom. This will allow First Christian Church to accomplish a dream that it's had for years, to have a greater ministry footprint here in Campus Town. Imagine the opportunity to come alongside a campus ministry and to be able to plant a church in Campus Town. The partnership together would be able to reach domestic and international students and have a global influence for God's kingdom.
First Christian Church, I am so grateful for you guys. My name's Aaron Bird. I'm an Axiom, the director there. We've had a partnership for quite some time, but we want to go to a whole new level because of the good news. In fact, when you look at the Gospel of Luke, the angel's first words in the announcement of the birth was, "There's good news from heaven." And Luke 4, it says that Jesus' purpose was to walk around and give good news. And that's what we're doing at Campus Town, is giving good news to everybody. And We want to go to this partnership level with First Christian that we cannot do without you. And that's why we're so grateful for you, because you're sharing the good news. We want to share the good news. And if we could plant a flag, plant a church right on campus town where there's 40, 50,000 students every day walking by here, man, we could do something that's unique and different. And so I'm calling for your help. Danny's calling for our help. We want to partner together to do something that is beautiful, unique, and leaves a legacy. So God has a plan for the world, and we believe that the world is here. Every ethnicity, every tribe, every language, from every country practically. Let's do something together from my heart, from my mind, and our partnership. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's do this together.
For 2 years, Lincoln Square Mall has been the home of First Christian Church Urbana. For 2 years, we've been dreaming about what God could do through us, and we've actually been able to reach people from this community and the community around us. We've seen people who have been baptized, joined groups, people who have served in different ministry areas, taken on new ministry, and taken next steps of faith. We believe this is a church that Jesus would attend. Why would we say that? Because one of the beautiful portraits of First Christian Church in Urbana is the portrait that everybody seems to belong here, from every tribe, tongue, and nation, and every background, every race, every group. It's been a beautiful mosaic, a place where we can lead with love and see people come to faith. One of the great joys of being in Lincoln Square Mall is being in the marketplace, being in the community. Monday through Friday, this place is full of our community. People from every background, every tribe, tongue, and nation. For us, it allows us to have a home. It allows us to have a footprint in the middle of our own community. One of the beautiful things about 2 years being here is we've had a chance to grow and to expand. We launched right out of the gate and began to see people begin to show up and come and be a part of our church, to join our family. But over 2 years, we've seen 2 services kind of hit their peak. We grow to well over 250 people, and then we kind of shrink back down. Each time we surge in the fall, we shrink back down in the spring. Each time we begin to expand in the spring, we begin to shrink down in the summer. And so the question begins to be begged, what do we need to do next? Do we need to provide a new service? Do we need to look for a larger space? All of this, though, is not about just having a bigger church. It's about how do we continue to make room for people to belong? How do we continue to reach people far from God? How do we continue to take the people who fall in love with God and continue to grow them in His likeness? How do we help them find ministry in areas to serve? One of the prayers that we have is oftentimes how do we get people from the street to the seat? Well, that's happening. The question now comes for us is how do we get people from the seat to the street? How do we continue to mobilize and care for all the people that Urbana and the local communities have? I think our prayer for 2020 is a prayer for mission, 2020 mission. How do we take our people and mobilize them? How do we continue to expand the resources that God has given us? And how do we continue to be faithful in the process of living a life of love, not only individually, but as a church, to a community that needs to know God even more?
Friends, 2019 is coming to a close, and 2020 is a year of vision that needs to move to mission. Let's take these ideas, these hopes, and these dreams for 2020, and let's put action to them. Let's have a year of a 2020 mission where we bring the hope of Jesus to the world around us in the way that we live, the way that we serve, and the way that we care for the people around us.